It's that family that goes with you, travels with you, and they're always there nagging at you like big brother. But I tell you one thing, though. I go into any port, any issues I have 250 brothers and sisters to back me up.
Welcome to this special series of the EdUp Canada Podcast, Sea of Opportunities. In these short episodes, we're exploring two big questions. What do careers actually look like in the Royal Canadian Navy? And how has the Navy set up these men and women who serve our nation for success after leaving their career in the Navy? And to get these answers, we're joined by the crew members of the HMCS St. John's Halifax, who are going to talk about their own experiences and their own careers. And we're also going to talk to the men and women who serve these boats on shore to ensure they have all the support they need as they travel the world. It's like being on the ship while you're in your home. So without further delay, we bring you this special episode of the EdUp Canada Podcast, Sea of Opportunities. Welcome back to the Sea of Opportunities podcast. I'm Michael Sangster, your host. I'm joined now by Petty Officer Thomas Forrester. He is a cook on board the HMCS St. John, sailing towards Europe. Sir, thank you for joining us. How long are you off on deployment?
We're looking to be about 6 months right now there, Michael.
6 months away from family?
That is correct.
People in your life? What's that like? I take a week-long business trip and I get anxious. 6 months, I can't imagine.
Oh, you make the best of it, right? So it's quite challenging while you're out, hanging out, so to speak. We are a very important part of the crew here. So like I said, for myself, I am the cook. I am the executive chief cook on board. So I do a lot of the administration stuff as we go, like we said, ordering rations and so forth, and in keeping with the standards that we are provided by Ottawa. So 6 months away, it's a lot of stuff that happens here, but we try to make sure the crew gets that comfort that they get when they're away.
What's the supply chain like for you? I'm trying to bring food on board. You're gone away for long times periods at a time. What's that like?
Well, fresh only lasts for about 14 days, no matter how much we like to swing that. So that's kind of a very bad part of the job. But sometimes we manage to make it seem like it lasts a little longer, just kind of stretch it to that extra mile that we need it. But other than that, the chain itself, to get those variety of things, that all depends on our supply chain we have and support we get when we're in different ports and areas around the world. Obviously, with being from Canada and around the world, there are some things we can't acquire in different areas. So we have to adjust and accommodate as required.
Do you have some freedom to, when you go into port, to go in and get your own things, or it's all pre-ordered, ready, waiting for you just because of the volumes?
Oh, that all depends on how well my team likes me, I would say. But for the most part, we have a preset menu that I try to go with, and I try to get those items as best as we can. But there are some times when some of those things aren't very readily available, I should say. So, like, for instance, if we had like quinoa or we're trying to get salmon is a very common one. Sometimes we go to a different port, you may get salmon that's a whole salmon as opposed to in Canada where you have it in different selections and sizes, right? So we have to adjust. Many of our cooks are very qualified within those areas to be able to debone and skin different products as so forth and set it up for the meal as we need it.
I was just going to ask, you've got the quality of chefs on board, cooks on board that can do that kind of work for you.
That is definitely, yes, we do. And if not, then that's why I'm here to go down and mentor and train to ensure that we get that done professionally.
I was surprised when I was on board, the healthy nature of the food that we were eating. And I was only on for a day and a half, whatever it was. But we ate well. And how important is that nutritional value of what you're doing? I'm going to say the Navy now. I hear we're just talking about it with one of your cooks. The deep fryers are gone. They went overboard. Yeah. You're eating healthy on board, aren't you?
We are trying our best to push that healthy lifestyle to the Navy because obviously, as a Navy personnel, we travel around our waist, right? Our waist side goes with it everywhere we go. We're definitely trying to encourage people to eat more healthier. With that being said, our menus are set up as such to provide one healthy choice, one vegetarian choice, and a comfort of life choice, which usually isn't always the most healthiest, but a preferred choice for most crew members to encourage that generic touch of life.
You don't call the third one the Army choice?
Oh, no. I call it the comfort of life choice.
Comfort of life.
Especially if you end up with something very nice and nutritious.
We enjoyed it, and I was chuckling with one of your colleagues about the thing that caught me most off guard. Loved the soup. Wanted to have a beer at the end of the day. That was not an option. It was a good surprise, a bad surprise. But the chocolate milk on board, the volume of chocolate milk.
Oh yes, we go through quite a bit. You'd be surprised, especially when like the first few weeks or even the first 2 months when we're out here on a new deployment. Everyone's on that health kick, right? So they all want to get in, work out, eat their salads, get that beach bod on for the family back home, and they're putting it together and they're looking beautiful and nice. And then we do a little upscale and then we downscale a little bit, and they get off the health train. They start eating a little bit more donairs or something a little out of the box. Then the last 2 months on the way home, they all go back on the health train again, and everyone's eating their salads. So we try to encourage them as much as possible.
That's funny. We're talking about that. So we haven't talked to any of our guests yet about the gym facilities on board are kind of unique because there's no gym. It's kind of equipment, from what I saw, wherever it could be put within the ship, right?
Yes. Usually half of the ship is where we have the gym located, right? So the gym itself it's an encouragement again to stay healthy and active, to increase your mentality as well as your readiness while you're out there. I find a lot of the time the way the gym kind of works out is you don't want to go like too heavy with your workouts just because of the waves. They do affect the gym like workouts. So most people have been alongside. You lift 20 pounds, it's 20 pounds all the time. For us here at sea, 20 pounds could turn to 50 pounds pretty quickly, especially when you hit a rogue wave and it goes up and it goes down. So you have to be very careful that you have someone spotting you when you're working out back there.
That's interesting. The reason we're doing this series of interviews aboard the St. John's as you head off to sea, one, we think it's important that Canadians understand the deployment and what it means for people 6 months away from life, from your families is a big deal. But the varied careers that are available in the Navy and the opportunities and the rewards too. There's serving the nation, there's risks, but financial rewards are good, training, education, there's all kinds of opportunities, aren't there?
Oh, there definitely is. Like for myself, like I said, I'm the chief cook on board, but I'm also a submariner. I'm also a diver. So there's a lot of opportunities to branch outside of just your trade. I'm not sure many people know that when they join the forces as a cook, you don't have to be just a cook. You can also change to a different trade if you so prefer. Just having that opportunity even just to stay within the trade itself and be able to leave my establishment and learn something else. Mechanical engineering and so forth is a huge bonus because it makes you well-rounded and well versatile for when it comes to the operational commitment.
What was the skill that you brought when you signed up? Were you a cook when you joined?
When I signed up, I actually joined as a cook because I wanted to do that cook. I went to culinary school for that trade as well. So it was an extra plus for me when I came through. And then I also, like I said, I wanted to be submariner when I actually joined. So I liked the sub idea. So when I joined in the first 4 years, I couldn't actually enlist as a submariner because I need to be QL5 qualified. That's just basically understanding the basic cooks and all that stuff, right? So once I proved that I had all the qualification needed and I had 4 years in the forces, I opened the opportunity to actually join the submarines. I did 12 years there. And then after I was done my 12 years there, I came straight here to CPF. So like having a background of like 15 years in the forces it is right now, and then going straight into submarines and then continuing on this Canadian frigates right now, I have a knowledge of versatile of what I am doing as well. As also I've sailed every single plateau we've had in the CF right now. So all that knowledge and wealth of experience that I have, I bring all that to my team and I share that with them to encourage them to know that you have opportunities as a cook, not only to just cook all day if you so choose to, but you can also branch out. You can learn how the mechanic, the engineer portion of things, how to operate systems, how to drive a submarine. Like I had the opportunity to do that. How many cooks can you say drove a submarine on max depth underwater, moving, tactical situations and so forth? So like, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can learn. It all depends on the individual and what you want to accomplish. The limit is basically in your drive and determination and how far you wish to go as an individual.
Wow. What a fantastic message for people. I was chuckling when I was on board and I interviewed Vice Admiral Topshee last week and said it at 56, it's too late for me. And he said, you still got 6 months. We take you till 57.
That is correct. You can make some kicks in there. Come on now.
I could still do a 3-year term, but is that where you're at? You keep re-signing for 3 years. Am I correct?
Well, for me right now, I signed for 25. So I have that countdown clock going for me for 2034. I'm looking forward to that day, and we'll see again if I'll re-sign. It all depends on the family situation at home, as you all know. Family is the biggest key here, and that's the driving force behind all military personnel. They determine how long we remain operational, how ready we are mentally and physically to do the job. So if my family at any point in time say, you know what, we've had enough, it's time for you to come home, then that's a call I have to make when it comes to my young ones at home.
So let's touch on that. I've had the pleasure of being good friends with Rick Hillier, and he used to joke when he was CDS about if we wanted you to have a family when I joined the military, we would have assigned you one.
Issue you one.
Yeah, would have come with your kit bag, right? And I'm sure it's a military joke, but it's a stressful life on family, isn't it?
It definitely is. Yeah, you need a strong spouse at home. Definitely handles a lot of situations. Like I said, because of my background being on submarines, my family had a good touch of that, especially the first early years in my career, where I was unable to be contacted for months at a time when we're deployed. Even areas I went around the world where you couldn't get that information. I couldn't send them a message that said, "Hey, I'm in," we'll say Boston or whatever, for instance. I couldn't tell them I was there because security clearance and so forth, right? And then the tactical of the mission and what you're doing, you can't talk about those for years to come, even after you retire and so forth. So there's a lot of those things that you have to kind of deal with. So a strong personnel at home that can handle all that, and especially if you have kids at home too, that's really stressful, right? Because it disrupts the family when you got to go home for a week or two and then return back to operational commitment, and as well as what's happening, the planning and organizing, and ensuring that your family know that A, you're okay, and B, that you're committed and you're doing the job to protect the life, that style that you want to have at home. And along with your comment you said about, the military is an issued family, you're absolutely right. Every day I come on board, I have 250 kids with me and 250 adults and 250 chefs, and they all have an opinion, and everyone's telling me what they need and how to get it done. So, it's that family that goes with you, travels with you, and they're always there nagging at you like big brother. But I tell you one thing though, I go into any port, any issues I have 250 brothers and sisters to back me up 24/7. So, you got that covered. Yeah, that is absolutely correct.
You've got a family, and I think the general used to explain to me something about what it was like, and he had to remind himself that his spouse and children have their own battles at home. When he's stressed out when he was leading a regiment or being the CDS, your family has a stress at home too that they're dealing with, and you've got to help them through that, even though you're in a ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, that is correct. You got to send a message and say, hey, everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it, because that's all you can do is your words got to carry you.
Before we touch on a closing question, I'm intrigued. Favorite meal for you to serve on board? What's the one you love making? And how much time do you get to cook anymore?
Honestly, as the boss, cook anytime you want. So that's the benefit of the job. But for my favorite meal, myself being my cultural background is Jamaican, I do a Jamaican night. And I like to make sure I give the guys a nice jerk chicken with some roti and some roast pork and so forth, just to kind of like, I know cultures that hit from my own culture to kind of give myself, again, my own comfort food as well, but also just to encourage the guys to try something new.
Before we sign off, anything you want to deliver as a message, and then I'm going to ask you if there's anything you'd like to say to some people at home that they might be able to hear today.
Well, as a message, I would say, never give up, one foot at a time. And this career isn't for everybody, 100%. It's something that you have to be willing to commit to. The challenges are not exactly the easiest to overcome, but the rewards are well worth it. The time you spend here serving with the people, an individual, the memories, the culture, the experience, you will never get that anywhere else. And I mean, I might be a little biased being Navy most of my career, but if you want to see the world, the Navy is the way to go. I've traveled with many Army and Air Force, even people I did my courses with, basic and so forth. And all the years they've had in, I've seen many more ports, many more areas, many more cultures, because there's a more variety in vast areas that we travel to where we have to operate in the Atlantic and so forth, right? So we travel around the world, we see a lot more, and it's an opportunity that I would definitely say it's worth having.
Message for some people back home?
I got to say thank you to my wife, Lauren, my kids, Tessa, Theo, Lennox, my grandfather, also my father-in-law, Brad, Howard, and Ann, and my dad, Thomas. Yes, that's right, Thomas and Thomas, my sister, Tess, Shireen, and everybody else. So if I miss anyone, I'm going to say I miss you all, I love you all, and you're all keeping me strong and encouraged to finish the mission ahead. And I look forward to seeing you when I get back.
Well, on behalf of us and our listeners, and I think I can say on behalf of Canadians, thank you very much for your service to our nation. We wish you fair winds and following seas, and look forward to welcoming you back to the Halifax port in December, and hope a quiet, safe, and easy deployment to all of you and the members on board. And good luck feeding them all I'm sure you've got a lot of mouths and a lot of attitudes to take care of. So good luck to you, sir. And thanks for joining us.
Michael, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to this special episode of the EdUp Canada Podcast, Sea of Opportunities. If you like this episode, I hope you leave a review for us as it helps more people to discover the show. If you're interested in a career in the Navy, you can click on the link in the show notes to learn all about the Naval Experience Program. Thanks for learning with us.